you can't budget your way out of not making enough money. So today we're going to talk about something that's really difficult to talk about sometimes. No matter how careful you budget, sometimes it's just not enough. We're constantly told that budgeting is the answer to all of our financial problems, but what happens when you simply don't make enough money to cover your basic needs? That is the reality for a lot. And today we're gonna be going over it, doing a deep dive as to why budgeting alone can't solve everything, and what you can do if you find yourself in this horrible situation. My name's Eva. I'm the founder of Fierce Rich Money, and after 2 years of unemployment, I'm back in debt. I got out of debt before using my plan, and I'm doing it again, and I will get out of debt. So this channel is about normal ways of getting out of debt, not the extreme ways that litter the internet. We're also going to cut through all the lies and misinformation that we're told, because you know what? Those lies and misinformation are keeping us poor. All right, so budgeting has its limits. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a powerful tool. It helps you track your income, your expenses, ensuring you're prioritizing your spending and can save for the future. But here's the thing, budgeting can only go so far. If you're not making enough money to cover your basic expenses, no amount of budgeting is going to bridge that gap. You have housing, you have utilities, you have groceries and other essentials that add up to more than your monthly income. There's not much you can cut back on at that point. You know, you can't budget your way into making your rent lower or your grocery bill disappear. At some point, you hit a wall. Look, budgeting is important, but again, it has its limits, especially when your income is too low. You know, the impact of low wages can't be ignored. It's one of the biggest factors in the struggle with debt. You know, the reality is many people are working full-time jobs or multiple jobs and still not making enough to cover their basic living expenses. This is especially true in areas where the cost of living is high and the wages haven't kept up. Yet big companies are making record profits. Let's not forget how much the CEO of McDonald's made, his multi-million-dollar bonus. And tell me again how it's the minimum wage worker that's causing prices to increase. And you know what? Why hasn't the self-checkout at Walmart lowered the prices? And what about the new Starbucks CEO? Google his comp package and tell me again why the 15 an hour barista is going to bankrupt the company, but not his multi-million-dollar private jet that he's commuting to work with. Okay, rant over. You might be earning minimum wage or slightly above it, but when half of your take-home pay is going to rent, like, it's impossible to make ends meet, no matter how carefully you budget. This financial pressure can lead to cycles of debt, stress, and frustration. Recognize the emotional toll of financial stress and remind yourself, you know what? It's not your fault. The emotional toll of trying to budget everything when you're not making enough is exhausting. Constantly having to choose between paying bills and buying groceries or putting off necessary expenses like healthcare will wear you down. And I know this from firsthand experience. When budgeting fails to fix the problem, it can feel like a personal failure, even though it's not your fault. It is the system. Look, I've been there myself, and right now I'm trying to stretch every single, not even every single dollar, every single penny, feeling guilty about every small purchase and beating myself up for not being able to make it work all the time. But the truth is, it's not your fault. The numbers just don't add up, and it's a problem that goes beyond budgeting. When budgeting isn't enough, what can you do? The first step is acknowledging that this isn't something you can't fix, by cutting out your morning coffee or skipping a night out. It's a bigger issue that requires a different approach. Here are a few strategies to consider. Obviously, one, increase your income, side hustles if possible, but not everyone can take on a side hustle. So, but if you can, it can be, there's freelancing, gig work. You know what? Trying to start a small business on the side that doesn't have a lot of startup capital. If you can reduce your fixed expenses, maybe downsize. If your rent is a significant portion of your budget, can you move to a more affordable place, even if it means sacrificing in other areas? Negotiate your bills. Try negotiating with the service providers for lower rates on things like internet, phone, insurance. Shop around for insurance. I learned that one. Seek help. As long as Project 2025 doesn't go into effect, we still have programs through the government. There's SNAP, housing assistance, energy assistance in some states. I know my state has that. These programs exist to help people in this exact situation. Community resources, local charities, food banks, and other community organizations can provide short-term relief while you work on improving your situation. Reevaluate your goals. Short-term goals sometimes are, I just need to survive. So shift your focus to making it through the immediate challenges while keeping long-term goals on the horizon. But you know what? Your goal is to survive. Prioritize essentials. Focus on covering your basic needs first. Housing, food, healthcare. Everything else can be put on hold if necessary. Explore ways, again, to increase your income, reduce fixed expenses, and seek assistance when budgeting isn't enough. Advocate for systematic change. It's also important to recognize that this issue isn't just about individual, budgeting. It's about a system that does not work for everyone. Low wages and high cost of living and lack of affordable things like healthcare and education are all systematic issues. So these need to be addressed. One way to make a difference is by advocating for change, whether it's supporting policies that, increase the minimum wage, improved access to affordable housing, expanding social safety nets. Your voice matters. Get involved in your community. Vote for candidates who aren't going to give big tax cuts to the rich, and start prioritizing these issues and supporting organizations that are fighting for economic justice. Building resistance while we work towards this kind of change is also crucial. Look, you need to build personal resistance. This means developing a mindset that allows you to keep going even when things suck. Sorry. Focus on what you can control. Take care of your mental health and your physical health, and stay connected with supportive people in your life. And look, remember, this isn't just about surviving financially. It's about maintaining your overall well-being. So please don't ignore that. Look, while budgeting is an important tool, it's not the magic solution, especially when you're not making enough to cover your basic needs. The key is to recognize the limits of what budgeting can do, explore other strategies to improve your situation. And you know what? You need to advocate for broader change and address the root cause of financial struggles. And remember, you're not alone in this. And it's okay to ask for help. It is okay. So thank you so much for watching. I know this was like a horrible video for me to write the script for, but it's really important. We need to look out for each other and not just let the rich, get our money, because guess what? That's who's getting our money. So always remember that. Hopefully, things will get better. So sorry for the depressing video, and I will see you in the next one.